Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I am so excited to do. It's going to be a new ranking one. I'm going to be ranking all of the eyeshadow palettes that I've tried so far in the year that we call 2020. Ooh. I love doing these ranking videos. I have a whole playlist. I will link it down below if you want to check out any more of these. But also in January, I posted a video on ranking all of my eyeshadow palettes that I tried in 2019. There was 49 palettes in there, and that video is the top viewed video on my YouTube channel, which tells me that people really love it. It was my first video to get over 100,000 views, which is really exciting for me. And when I saw that the views kept coming in and kept coming in, even in March and in April, I was like, I should do this video again. So I made a little note to do it in June. And here we are at the end of July, but I still really wanted to do this one. I just thought it would be a lot of fun. So I'm really glad to finally be sitting down to film it. There is also going to be a giveaway at the end of this video, and I'm really excited for it. I hope that you guys are excited for it too. So make sure you stay tuned till the end and we'll do a little giveaway. Other than that though, I have 23 palettes to rank for you, and it's actually a little bit more than that. So we have a lot to get through. Why don't we go ahead and get started? I did want to say that I did film this eye look for my Instagram. If you're not following me yet over there, I'm almost to 50,000 followers on Instagram, almost 100,000 here on YouTube. Very exciting time. But I do post a lot of my makeup looks on my Instagram, which is March Beauty Word. So if you want to see how I got this look, that will be linked, and I do always list out all of my makeup down below. I am trying out a new foundation today. I'm not quite sure about the shade match, so let's not roast me in the comments. I'm trying to review it for you. Get started though, at the bottom, coming in at number 23, I have these eyeshadow palettes from Fenty Beauty, and these are the Snap Shadows. Now I will say that these are the only palettes that I'm mentioning that I just didn't like the formula, that the formula just didn't work for me. I have a few that I'll talk about next that just didn't do it for me personal preference wise, makeup style wise, but then after those few, everything else I really liked. It was tough to make this one. I've been staring at this list and adding to it a little bit for a while because I was like, how do I possibly rank these? So I did my best. But these Fenty Snap Shadows, I really did not like the quality on these. These retail for $25. I purchased mine from Sephora. I have, this is number 6 Smoky, and the other one I got was number 5 Peach. So you can snap these together. They have 6 shades, they have a mirror. You can buy them, you can buy multiples and like snap them together, and you know, that's just like fun and different. I mean, that's cool. But quality wise, these just really didn't do anything for me. I found them hard to blend. I found the shimmers hard to pop. And I very rarely root for these. So unfortunately, this is just a quality I didn't love. Number 2, I have one from Colourpop, and this was in their Sailor Moon collection. I feel like I might get roasted for this because I know a lot of people love Sailor Moon. Myself personally wasn't super familiar with it, but I did get this collection sent over from Colourpop, and when I opened up the eyeshadow palette, I was like, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do here because I do like more neutrals. I like purples and like reds and oranges, but sometimes color can also intimidate me a little bit, and it's not always my go-to, especially because I really do like quick, easy, fast makeup looks. I'm always so busy, and sometimes I just don't have the most amount of time to sit down and do my makeup and blend and come up with color combinations. But when I opened this, I was kind of like, huh? I really struggled. Each time I went to use this palette, I was looking up, you know, Instagram posts or videos on YouTube and trying to see what other people were doing with it because I just couldn't come up with looks with this palette. Quality wise, I really do like Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. They're one of my favorites. You're gonna see a lot of Colourpop in here too. But this one to me, I don't know if it was just some of these more colorful shades. I just feel like they didn't really pop. Like even this yellow in here, it just wasn't as like punchy as I maybe thought it was going to be. Even this kind of like pinky purple over here, they just didn't seem to have the same like pizzazz as I feel Colourpop shadows do. So, you know, it was fine, but just not for me. Another one from Colourpop that I just didn't get on with, and I'm still surprised about it, is this one here. This is the Blush Crush. So I purchased this from Ulta Beauty. This one is $14. And when I saw the shades in here, I was like, okay, now this one is me. Like, I'm going to use this so much. Love the outer packaging, but the shades inside, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get on with this like crazy. And when I reviewed it in a follow-up video, I was like, I'm baffled why I don't like this one and why I don't reach for it. Even after I first purchased it, I did a look with it and I was like, that was okay. But then I honestly kind of forgot about it. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I have a big makeup collection. I try to, try new things and review new things and do looks and do several looks, but this one kind of got buried on the wayside. I was like, I feel like the quality in this one is just not the same Colourpop quality as I've come to expect from their other palettes, and I was very confused by this one. So unfortunately, I also didn't really love the Blush Crush. Sad. Also though, if you do love Colourpop palettes, I did a video a couple months ago ranking all of my Colourpop palettes just in general. All of the Colourpop palettes in my collection. So I'll link that one down below if you want to catch that one too. At number 20, I have these palettes from Ofra Cosmetics. These are the Glitch and the Glitch 2000s. So inside, this is the first Glitch palette that came out, and these are all shimmer shadows, that's like my biggest thing, because I just don't reach into palettes that have all shimmers super often. And then this one is the Glitch 2000s. So you do have a bit of bulkier packaging. I forgot to say in my intro that I have seen Amy Loves Makeup and Kelly Gooch do this style of video also, so I'm going to link them down below. I just actually watched Kelly's this morning, and she kind of had the same feedback on the Glitch palettes. She liked hers a lot more than me because of her personal makeup preferences, but even she mentioned kind of just like the heavier packaging for these 9-pan palettes. But so sorry, I forgot to mention that in my intro. Ugh. The biggest thing again for me is that with my preferences and what I reach into, there's no mattes in these, and some of the colors, I'm just not the most colorful person. So when I look at these, I kind of have this moment of like, huh, I wonder what I can do with this one. So these do retail for $29. I do have some other Ofra palettes though that I like more that you're going to see coming up in here, but just for how much I reach into these, it's just not often. If you like these colors like Kelly does, I know that she got on with these a lot more, but just for me, they weren't a personal favorite. All right, at number 19, I have another one from Colourpop. Usually so much Colourpop is like at the top of my list, but this was another collaboration this one was with Disney. This is the Mulan palette. This one retailed for $22, and you do have a little bit of a larger palette with more shadows. They are just a little bit smaller pans. I liked this one obviously the most out of the Colourpop palettes that I just mentioned, because I feel like the quality was a little bit better. I liked the different variety in here. I liked some of these red shades. I kept going into the reds from this palette, and I don't know, maybe that was just like subconsciously because the packaging is red. Also the gold in here is really pretty too. There's also gold on the packaging. See where my mind went. But again, this was one that I used it a few times so I could get some looks out of it, did some Instagram tutorials, was able to post some photos, and then I was like, like, that was pretty good. It wasn't something that I thought, wow, I'm gonna keep like consistently pulling out this palette and keep consistently pulling out this palette. I just thought I thought it was pretty good. Really, from here on out, I like all of these palettes. So this is where it started to get really tough for me, and I really tried to rank them just based off of personal preference. I mean, honestly, I don't really know how else I can rank makeup or review makeup other than personal preference. But okay, so we have coming in at number 18, this might surprise some people, but this is from Natasha Denona, and this is the Mini Retro. I love the Natasha Denona minis. I'm a big fan. I've purchased a lot of them. The Mini Nude is my favorite. I've hit pan in that eyeshadow palette. I ranked it real high in my 2019 ranking video. But the Mini Retro, these are $25 if I didn't say. I just don't reach for this one out of, especially thinking of all of my little mini Natasha palettes that I have. This is the one that kind of just keeps coming in last for me. I reach for my Mini Nude. I have my Mini Glam that I like a lot too. This one I'm just like, I like it. I do. I just don't reach for it very often. The shimmers in here I think are really pretty. I don't know if maybe it's the mattes that just don't get me as much. I don't feel like as much of like an oomph from them. They're, I build them up a little bit more. I mean, again, I like the palette. I'm going to keep it. I just don't reach for it as often as I thought that I was going to. Number 17, I have this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillowtalk Instant Eye Eyeshadow Palette. This baby retails for $75. I have extremely affordable products in here. I have some real expensive products in here. And again, I'm trying to rank off of personal preference, but the price tag for this one does come into my mind a bit because I like it. I think that it's a pretty palette. I think I've done some really pretty looks with it. My first impression with it actually really did exceed my expectations, which I was kind of surprised about. But I don't know if I see $75 in here. It's pretty. You can do some neutral looks. You can do some punchier looks using some of the shadows here at the bottom. It's like one of those good staple palettes. And maybe if I was someone who had a very curated collection, a very small eyeshadow palette collection, I consistently went back and used the same palettes over and over again, and I didn't mind luxury or high-end products, like this might be like a staple for me, an everyday palette. But because of my collection and because of my job and all of those things, I don't know, it just seems pretty pricey to me. Again, it's pretty, but kind of falling in the middle there. At number 16, I have a newer eyeshadow palette to me. I've only done a couple looks with it, and I debated whether putting some of these newer palettes in here, but then I thought, why not? It's fun. It's just makeup. It's, you know, it's nothing like super serious. So I still wanted to include it, but I honestly think that maybe when I do this one at the end of the year or in 2021, can't wait to meet you, 2021. I feel like this might be one that will rank higher once I've been able to try it more. But I just didn't want to rank it too high. You know what I'm saying. Okay, this is from Urban Decay. Let me tell you. This is from Urban Decay. This is the Ultraviolet palette. I like this one. Again, I was watching Kelly's video as I was getting ready to film this one, and she busted out the Naked palette from Urban Decay, and she said what I would have said too, like there's polarizing reviews. People either seem to really love it or really hate it, and she leans on the side of loving it. I kind of do too. I've had people message me like, did you not like it? Did it not work for you? It didn't work for this person and that person and this person. It has bad reviews here. And I'm like, I like it so far. Again, I've only done a couple looks with it, and I've really stayed more towards this purple side because I really do like purples. So I've kind of stayed over here so far. But so far, I like it. Again, I wanted to kind of strategically put it more in the middle because I didn't want to rank it too high without trying it enough times. But so far, I've been happy with it, and I thought some of the eye looks I've done have been pretty cool. I know I posted one on Instagram, and people were literally saying, like, is that really the Ultraviolet? And I was like, no, it's a different palette. I just trying to trick you. Like, what? I would never do that. That's so silly to me. And I had even done a tutorial on the look that was on Instagram. I was like, why are people asking me if this is real? Like, what? So far I like it. I do tend to like the Urban Decay Naked palettes. Not all of them, but a lot of them I do like, and especially if they have color schemes that like speak to me, which again, purples do. That's why I wanted to rank it there. At number 15, I have this one from Pure. This was in collaboration with the Trolls World Tour movie, I think it was. So they came out with these little palettes. These retailed for $18, and there's quite a few of them. Maybe like 6 or 7 palettes, and each one had like a little different color story to it. This one was in the shade Rock. These says travel sized pressed pigment palettes. Okay, so this is the only one that I tried. I did get all of them sent to me from Pure Cosmetics and PR. This was the first one that I grabbed out to try, and then I just kind of kept pulling it. I liked that it was a little bit different for me, with like the red in here, and we have a silver, even like the black, like just a little bit different. So I thought, like, why not see what different looks I can come up with. I think that these are nice. It's nothing that like overly blew me away, but I like how small they are. I like that they still have a mirror because that's something that I use a lot. For me, maybe if I had grabbed out like the purple one or the really neutral one, maybe I would have ranked it higher. But with this color story, and again, I was just trying to do something different. But for me, I'm like, I think it's pretty good, just not a favorite. So again, kind of in the middle here. Number 14, I have this one from Juvia's Place. This is the Wahala palette. All right. So, oh, how many shades? 5, 10, 15, 20. We have 20 shades in here. Hopefully I did my math correct because you never really know with me. And this one retails for $36, so it is a bit of a larger eyeshadow palette. Once again, personal preference, I tend to lean towards more of the smaller palettes, even like those Natasha Denona minis. I like smaller palettes in general. It's just kind of my thing. Less shades, it's a little bit less overwhelming for me, because with this one, when I look at it, I'm kind of like, there's a lot of different things I could do. But I like the quality. Juvia's Place, I think, does have a nice eyeshadow palette formula. It's not like my tippy top favorite, but I do like it a lot. And with this one here, honestly, if this palette was like this, I would use that so much. Like, again, this is the color scheme that I'm a fan of. But you know, it is nice to have some of these colors over here too if I would ever want to dip into them. And I have played, I don't even know how many looks I've done with this one, maybe like 5 or something. I've done more colorful. I've done kind of more of my personal style over here too, and I think that it's a nice palette. Coming in at 13, I have a trio of palettes here. Again, that's why I said I'm technically saying there's 23 spots, but some palettes there's more. But these came in the collection from Colourpop and their tie-dye collection. So for the sake of time and all of that, and with palettes that I can put together like this, you know, it just makes sense because I probably would have ranked them all really close to one another. So these came out recently as part of the tie-dye collection from Colourpop. So we have Aura and Out, which actually I created a really fun look with this palette. I thought this would be the one that I would like the least, but I actually really I thought the shades were pretty in there. We also have Miss Bliss, which is kind of more of like a pinky orange, and then In a Trance. This is kind of more cotton candy, purple, pink, blue. I thought this one was going to be my favorite, but honestly, none of them really turned into like, I think I'm going to be absolutely diehard for them. They are very pastel shades, which is pretty, and I like pastels, and you know, from like I even have a little bit more of a purple pastel in my eyes today, but it's not typically my go-to, and sometimes I feel like you have to work a little bit harder for pastels. Miss Bliss is probably honestly my least favorite out of here. I feel like I really had to work hard with these shadows to get them to build up, and they ended up kind of looking really similar to one another, which that can be a downside to monochromatic palettes at the same time. And then again, Aura and Out. You know, while these colors aren't my usual, I still felt like these ones were easy to work with. And again, In a Trance, I feel like these would be really, really close to one another, which again is why I'm just ranking them in a group here. But I was a little bit surprised. I thought I would like them a little bit more from Colourpop, but I think it's maybe just that pastel part that it's like, oh yeah, it does take a little bit more time to work with something like that. At number 12, I have a grouping of palettes once again, and these are from Ofra Cosmetics, and these are their signature palettes. Okay, so these retail for $32, and these all have 5 different shades in them with a mirror. This one that I just happened to pull out first, I didn't even mean for it to be on top. This one is my favorite because look at it, it's purples. We've already know. I like them a lot. This one is called the Galaxy palette. When they came out with their signature palettes, I was really impressed with the quality in these. I've said before that I don't mind the Ofra eyeshadow formula, but again, it's not like an absolute favorite of mine. But when they came out with the signature palettes, I was really impressed with the quality in here, and I know that it had been changed. This one here is Sweet Dreams, which is really pretty also. I've done looks with all of these palettes. Like I said, Galaxy would still be my personal favorite. This one here is in Getaway. And then this last one is one that I didn't really think that I would like as much, but I really do. And this is Beachside. So you can see that this one is more colorful. This definitely gives me a lot of summer vibes. This came out really recently with Ofra Cosmetics, but this is a fun one. I did a colorful look recently that was way outside of what I normally do, but I was using this palette because looking at it, I was like, this is fun. Like, I want to use this palette. I want to use these fun pops of color. This one here is a little bit more orange. So we have like orange, pink, yellow, blue, and then the highlight in the middle is Star Island, and that's one of my favorite shades from Ofra. It's in my collaboration highlight that I did with them. If you're new to my channel, because again, I know we're getting close to 100K. I've had some new people come in, but if you are new, I do have a collaboration with Ofra that did just restock at Ulta Beauty. You can get the bronzer, the blush, and the highlight on the Ulta Beauty website. The lip set, which is a liquid lipstick and a lip gloss, that is exclusive to the Ofra website, but everything is also still available on Ofra. But the restock finally just happened at Ulta, which I've been waiting for, and it's so exciting to see. But I definitely love Star Island. So yeah, so I like these palettes more than the glitch palettes. I like that these are smaller. Like, I like the packaging more. I like that there's just the 5 shades. I like that each one has a little bit more of a theme to it. At number 11 is the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes today. This is a new one from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this is the Retro Paradise palette. This retails for $18, and we have 15 shades. Nope, that's a lie. This one has 18 shades in here. Alrighty then, I will have a video with this palette on my channel. If it's not already up, it will be coming very soon, and I did use it on my eyes today, so again, this look will be on my Instagram if it's not already up there. But today I just used 2 shades. I used Tropicana and Disco. That was it. Super simple to do, but I really like it. I think it pops a lot. This palette a lot because I think the formula in here is really similar, if not the same formula as the bite-sized palettes, which you will be seeing in this video also from e.l.f. Cosmetics. So I really like that. The mattes are really creamy and really blendable. The shimmers work really well also. So I like that about this palette. We do have some more colorful shades in here, and it's just a little bit bigger. So again, preference-wise, that's why it's kind of falling right here. But I like the quality in here. The packaging doesn't necessarily necessarily like blow me away or anything. Number 10, I have these little palettes from Juvia's Place. So I have tried 2 of these. Juvia's Place did send over, there was 4 that came out at once, and these are the ones that I have tried. This one here is the nudes, and these retail for $14. And then we also have the violets. Okay, so I do like the violets a little bit more. Obviously, but also I really do like the nudes because I do like neutrals, so these are kind of like best of both worlds. I could mix these shades together if I wanted to. Each time that I've done looks with them, I've just solely stuck with that palette. But again, Juvia's Place, I like their formula. While it's not like a top favorite, I have to say that I feel like this one, something about the shadows in here, I was like, wow, I did a first impression with this one on my channel and I was really impressed by it. I think that this quality is nice too. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Peach palette from Fenty Beauty that I mentioned, and I would recommend these over that. I think the quality is better and the price is better on these from Juvia's Place. At number 9, I have one of my newer eyeshadow palettes to me. This is from Natasha Denona, and this is the bronze palette. This retails for $65. I featured this in one of my most recent Sephora hauls because I've been placing a few during this quarantine time, but when this one was released, I got really excited for it, and I think that this is a really nice palette. Again, even though this one, I mean, it's coming in my top 10, so, but I could even see myself ranking it a little bit higher at the end of the year, perhaps. We never know what's going to come out this year, so who knows. But I really like these shades. I wondered if maybe this would be a little bit too gold for me because gold isn't my favorite color to wear on my eyes, but something about these bronzy tones and some of these like reddish tones, I really like those shades also, and I think that this is really nice quality. I like that these are more of the midi size, M-I-D-I, because at $65 they're not as expensive as her really large palettes, which are like $129, but I still feel like it's, I mean, it's not the smallest palette, but it is still a little bit more compact. You do have a really nice mirror in here, and so far I've been really liking the looks that I've done with the bronze palette. At number 8, I have these quads here from Charlotte Tilbury. So I have 4 of these quads, again, just kind of grouping them together here. I do have 2 favorites from the collection, and I do have a video doing a look with each of these quads and also the corresponding eyeliners that come with this collection. These 2 are my favorites right here though, the Green Lights and also the Mesmerizing Maroon. Green Lights totally shocked me how much I love this palette, but each time I do a look with this one, and again, it's only 4 shades, so a lot of times I'm doing more or less the same look, but I'm okay with that because I don't mind that personally. And when I do that look, I'm like, like something like that. That's how I feel my mood is. That's how I feel my mood is, okay? And then Mesmerizing Maroon, this is just, I can do a look in 5 seconds with this, and that's what I like. So I especially like these 2 a lot. I think the quality is really nice on them. You don't have to work really hard. They are expensive though. They're $53. I honestly thought about ranking them higher, especially because I just love these 2 so much, but I was like, $53 for 4 shades. I just, again, other ones that we have in there are Copper Charge, which I like this one too. I just like Mesmerizing Maroon a little bit more. And then the one that I don't use very often is Super Blue. I don't go for blues that often. Coming in at number 7, this was such a hard palette to figure out where I was placing it because I just feel like I have so many conflicting thoughts on it. You might already know. It is from Pat McGrath, and it is the Divine Rose palette. Again, this is newer to me. I purchased it in the same haul with that Natasha Denona bronze palette. Yeah, let me tell you. I have a video up with 3 different looks with this palette, and the reason why I feel conflicted is because this one is $125, and I think that that is really expensive. Like I mentioned in my review, I like the quality, especially on a few particular shades. This second shade right here is just like one of my favorite eyeshadows in general now. I love that one. I love kind of those mauve tones. I think it's so easy to blend out. Even the other matte in here, super easy to use. Some of these shimmers, like these 2 at the end, this one is more of like a glittery topper, and it's freaking gorgeous. We have more of a duochrome over here. Some of these shimmers down here though, I just felt like I had to work a little bit harder than I wanted to for a $125 palette. And I also did say that I do wish maybe there was just one more matte in here. I know a lot of you said I can use shimmer in the crease. I definitely know that. I do looks like that. It doesn't scare me to put shimmer in my crease. I just lean towards mattes. Again, my personal preference. So if you love shimmers, I mean, there's a lot in here for you to choose from. So I kind of had a hard time figuring out where to place this, but I am really liking it. If it was just like $80. Like if it was in the $80 price range, I think that I would like it more. My husband played this game with me when I was talking to him about this palette. Like he's like, would you pay $100 for it? And I was like, that's still pricey. He's like, $90 for it? I was like, and he was like, $80. I was like, yeah, $80 I would totally do. I just think $125 is kind of high, but I still like it. Conflicting. Number 6, I have a newer eyeshadow palette as well. This is the Pure and Raw Beauty Kristi collaboration. Oh my gosh. No, one of my shades is broken. No, how did this happen? I don't know what happened, but the shade Told You is chipped and broken. I'm gonna have to see if I can put that back together. I'm so sad. That's one of my favorite shades. I was just wearing it the other day. Oh no. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be very careful, but I'm sure you've already seen this palette because it broke the internet. But you have a neutral palette on one side. Oh, okay, nothing's broken over here. Okay, and then a colorful palette on the other side. Oh my gosh, yikes. I do have a video up on my channel. I used the neutral side of the palette. I think the mirror just showed you my messy room. Let's pretend we didn't see. Can I put something over that? But I did a look using the neutral side and a look using the colorful side. I have a different Instagram tutorial up also using this palette because I have been so impressed. This one retailed for $36. It's not in stock currently. It sold out, then they did a pre-sale for it, and that is over now too, and I don't know if it's coming back. I've heard Kristi say that she doesn't even know that, so I'm not sure if it's going to be coming back, but wow, am I impressed. I love that it's double-sided, so you get 18 shadows, but it's also like looking at this, you would not think 18 shadows, right? I just feel like the details on here from the drawings on the palette, this was so well done. I've been really having fun with it. I love that there's such a neutral side that I will use so often, yet there's another side if I want to do pops of color, if I want to just do something on the lower lash line, which is what I did in my Instagram tutorial, or if I want to go like full colorful makeup look, I can do that. And yeah, this is a fun one. At number 5, we're getting into the top 5. Woohoo! At number 5, I have from Colourpop. This is the Lilac You a Lot palette. This one retails for $12. It's purple. Love it. Okay, so I do also have the It's My Pleasure from Colourpop, and again, I have that Colourpop ranking video if you'd want to check it out. I like this one a lot though because I feel like it's a little bit more purple than the It's My Pleasure. It's My Pleasure does have also have a lot of pinks in it. It's kind of like split between that, whereas this one mostly leans right in those purples, and I just feel like there's some unique shades in here that I think are really fun to work with, and I find myself reaching for this one quite a bit. I did purchase this one myself. My friend Amanda, or Makeup Just for Fun, came out with like a favorites bundle with Colourpop, and it included this palette, and I didn't have the palette yet, so I bought it, and I was like, what was I waiting for? I can't believe I didn't have this one sooner. Top 4, I really like all of these. Like this was a tough one to do. But at number 4, I have from Natasha Denona, and this is the Mini Glam palette. Okay, so I already mentioned the Mini Retro. I just, you know, something about the color scheme just didn't make it quite up there, but this one, I use this one so often. I use this one in the Mini Nude a lot together, and I'm such a fan. These are just my shades. You guys know that I love this formula. It's $25. I don't think that's bad for, you know, I know it's a smaller palette, but Natasha prices can be pretty high. But this one, yeah, I'm a fan of that one. Okay, at number 3, I have this one from Sigma Beauty, and this is the Cor de Rosa palette. A lot of you know that I have just loved this palette. I have done so many looks with it. It's one of my most reached for palettes. It does have a mirror in here. I wonder how my Pure palette broke. Okay then. So you have 14 different shades. There's the mirror, there's the double-ended brush, and I love Sigma brushes. This one retails for $49, but just the shades, the Cor de Rosa shade, it's kind of like that shade from the Pat McGrath palette that I'm like, this is just a favorite of mine. I reach for it over and over and over again, and yeah, this palette is dirty because I go into it often, and I'm such a fan of this one from Sigma. Number 2 was an eyeshadow palette that I really didn't think I was going to love so much. Not that I bought it on a whim, but I was like, I don't know, do I really need that? It's kind of more expensive. You know, like, let's just go ahead and do it. And this is from Natasha Denona once again. She's got 2 in the top 5, okay. And this is the Love palette. I don't know what it is about this palette, but I am such a fan. Again, this is the midi size, so this was $65. But I just really like these shades. There's a lot of purples and there's a lot of pinks, and that's just, you know, that's something fun for me. While this isn't necessarily my everyday palette because I do lean towards more colorful looks when I go into it, I just have the best time when I go into this one. looking at this palette, I get so many ideas for makeup looks, and that is something when a palette does that for me, it really sticks out to me because I don't have the most visual mind. A lot of times I am leaning on Instagram tutorials or YouTube tutorials to try to help me figure out what to do with a palette, especially if it's a little bit larger. But with this one, I'm like, oh no, like just looks flying off the top of my head that I want to do. Again, quality wise, you know, same as the bronze, really beautiful, blendable, buildable matte shadows. The shimmers in here are so fun, and I've been so impressed with this one. I'm a little bit surprised at how much I loved it, but I really do. All right, and then that means at number 1, we have these little e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. What the heck? I did not see myself loving these so much, but I really do. I didn't even purchase these at first when they first came out. I was like, I don't know, we'll see. I'll see what people are saying. They were only $3, so it's like, would it break the bank if I bought one? No. But people started talking about them and raving about them, and I was like, oh shoot. Oh shoot, it's like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance all over again. I didn't buy that one, and everyone loved it, and then it sold out. Kind of like the e.l.f. because I swear every time that I would go into my Target, at least 1 or 2 of the different palettes would be sold out, and I was like, oh no. So the e.l.f. mini bite-sized palettes, if you haven't heard of these yet, that would be absolutely shocking to me. These are only $3. You get 4 different shades in each one. Like, yes, the packaging isn't over the top, and they are smaller palettes, but they're also only $3, which is crazy. Like, I mean, even if you bought a bunch of them, that's still so affordable. I've purchased a few of these. I've also gotten a few sent to me from e.l.f., just like full disclosure there, but I would have just purchased them all myself anyways. I finally just made another e.l.f. order, and I finished off. I got the jalapeno one, and I think there was one other one that I didn't have, but I was like, why not just get the full collection? I do have a palette bingo on my channel if you'd be interested in seeing me use 6 different palettes and randomly drawing numbers and trying to create a look together, but these are just really nice. Again, my top 2, you know, one is just more expensive. It's not an everyday palette, whereas these, you can literally like throw them in your pocket, and they're $3, and you can get an everyday one. You can get a more colorful one if you want to, like this blue one right here. I just think that they're so much fun, and I would highly recommend them. All right, so we have made it to the end. I hope that you enjoyed the ranking of these palettes. I said 23. Obviously, there was more than 23, but I hope that you had fun with that. But I do have a special giveaway for this video. I hope that you guys are excited for it. So why don't we go ahead and jump into that. This giveaway, I'm going to be giving away eyeshadow palettes. The obviously theme of this video. It's going to be 2 winners for YouTube, but I'm also going to be doing a giveaway on my Instagram, which again is March Beauty Word, so there will be a corresponding giveaway going up over there also. But for the YouTube giveaway, I am giving away these 2 from Colourpop. I have the Miss Bliss palette, and then also In a Trance. So one winner will receive that. And also another winner is going to receive all of these e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. So the ones that I chose out for the giveaway is Rose Water, Cream and Sugar. We have the Acai You, which is the blue one, Carnival Candy, Berry Bad. Oh yeah, I also really like Berry Bad too. And then the last one is the Pumpkin Pie. So there are 6 of the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes, so maybe you haven't tried any of them yet, or maybe you don't have someone here, or you have someone that you can like share them with. So one winner will win the e.l.f., one winner will win the Colourpop, and I will choose a winner on YouTube, and the first person that I choose, I'll let you pick if you want to receive the e.l.f. or the Colourpop. I'm also going to be doing the giveaway for Miss Bliss and In a Trance on my Instagram, so again, you can check that out and enter there. I purchased these myself, and I bought these 2 for myself, and then I bought 2 for a giveaway also, and then I actually got the collection from Colourpop, so I wanted to do a giveaway. If you want to enter to win this YouTube giveaway, all you have to do, make sure you're a subscriber here, like this video, of course, that always helps so much, and then leave a comment down below, and in your comment, just say if you would want the e.l.f. palette or the Colourpop palette. That will let me know that you want to enter into the giveaway. If you don't want to enter the giveaway, just leave a regular comment. Just don't say I want the e.l.f. or I want the Colourpop, you know, something along those lines. Just let me differentiate. But even if you don't want to enter the giveaway, I would really appreciate if you left a comment, because that does always help with the engagement, so that's super important. Anyone can enter. My giveaways are open international. I just ask that you're 16 or over if you do want to enter or you have parents' permission. I'm going to close it in about a week, and I will comment on your comment, or if you want to leave a different form to connect with you, like your email, your Instagram name, I'll send you a DM, your Twitter, I'll send you a DM. Sometimes that's a little bit easier because YouTube doesn't always alert you that I've left a comment, so sometimes I have to kind of spam you, and if I don't hear from you, I do have to move on. So that's not a requirement. The only requirement is to subscribe here and leave a comment, but it just can kind of help me connect with you. So that is it though. Anything else that I didn't mention I will have in my description box. I will link all of these palettes in my description box, of course, but I just wanted to run over the giveaway, and I hope that you are excited for that. Other than that though, if you liked this ranking video, please make sure to give this one a thumbs up. These are really fun to do, but they do take a bit of time to put together and then to sit down and film. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you'll be looking forward to me doing this once again at the end of 2020, ranking all of my palettes, and we are on track for ranking over 50. So stay tuned. If there's any other ranking videos that you want to see from me in the near future though, please do just let me know. Other than that, I hope that you will consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.